lot. I feel like my whole years combined has been in this 1 year as far as myself. But um, the COVID pause was a little bit, just because I didn't practice. I just played in the game, so I didn't get cleared to after practice. But um, game's a little faster, but these practice days will help me out, so I'll get back to it.
What has been the reason for your good play of late? About the past 4 or 5 games, I think.
I think just confidence. I think just getting my confidence back. That kind of wavered over the season, up and down, inconsistent. But just putting some games together, realizing I only got like 15 games in the regular season in my last college career, and wanting to win with the guys. So I think just putting some games together, that's all it is.
I take it everything is fine with your ankle at this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And building off that, how comfortable do you feel you are now, taking into account everything post-injury and just overall system familiarity?
I would say it's more mental than anything. I wasn't prepared for that part as far as realizing trying to get back to your full strength and playing on the year before I was hurt the whole year. So mental is the most important thing with coming with an injury. I feel like after that, it comes back to just hooping. So I think that's where I'm at now, just playing with confidence and playing to win with those guys in that locker room.
When you talk about that mental part of it, how long did it take you to get to where you trust it, you go out and play and do what you do?
Well, that's still occurring right now. Nothing's perfect. I still don't feel all the way myself. I'm getting there. I show little bits and pieces, but I feel like I'm just waiting on that one game. As far as like all confidence, that just one game that I can get, and then on from there it'd be fine.
Above and beyond that, you're learning like a new system and new personnel and the whole nine. You said the year's been a lot. It's kind of a broad question, but how have you you talked about getting your confidence back. What's that process been? What have you had to go through to get there?
Failure, a lot of failure, a lot of realizing, talking to yourself, deep conversations with yourself, inner self, realizing, who you do it for. I have a beautiful daughter, down the street. She's my motivation. So that really helps, not getting too down. But, with the whole injury and, come to a new team, yada, yada, it's a lot, just mentally. But it's never ending. So you just got to keep trying to win the day.
How much of a challenge was it trying to maintain confidence, knowing you were starting to get into a groove, starting to carve out a better role in the team, and then you get hit with COVID?
I feel like that's, my life right now, as far as, God gives his soldiers, a hard life on this earth. So I feel like, I'm ready for anything. I feel like stuff just keep coming my way, but I'm going to keep getting back up, keep competing, and keep trying to win, bring wins to the University of Louisville.
Mason, how much, with your game, how much is the emotion that you show? How much do you thrive on that, and that's when you're kind of playing your best? It was the game before the COVID is. You got real emotional towards the end of that game and the Wake Forest game, and it seemed like that might have been your best game.
Yeah, emotion is my game. I really feed off the energy from in the building. I feed off my teammates. It just gets me going. In the game, I can't just play quiet or just passive or something like that. When I'm playing passive, I'm probably at my worst. But energy is big. Where I come from, you're always the smallest in the pond. So you got to have the biggest heart and be loud with your confidence. So that would be a big part of my game for sure.
Do you feel like the energy that you bring plays a large role in trying to get everyone else on the floor motivated and get going?
In a sense, I feel like energy in itself, just brings the team together, brings fans and the team on the same accord with anyone, anybody playing. So energy is definitely contagious, and this team needs it. Every team needs it, but I'm gonna definitely try to do my part.
Coach Mack was saying you really only had one day where you had symptoms. What was that day like?
It was different. I would say the last variant of COVID was probably worse than this one, but it's that anytime you take a break in the middle of a season, not practicing just in a hotel room or something like that, it's going to be different coming back. So thankfully for this days of practice, and then can't wait to get back to Florida State.
Mason, you talked about your daughter and kind of your motivation. What different than a lot of guys when she's right here, and if you have a bad game,
right,
kind of changes things, doesn't it?
Oh man, it just there's so much in young life. That's what I'm realizing. Like it's so beautiful. They have their whole life ahead of them, and when I get home or when I get to her, it's just like smiles. Like she don't really care what happened if I scored 0 points or had 0 assists or something like that. She don't really care. She just, just in the moment, just happy. So having that stability, with this season, personally how it's went, it's definitely, makes everything worth it. So I'm just gonna keep trying to build on that confidence for sure.
How old is she?
She's 10 months.
What's her name?
Briella Rain.
Can you spell the first name?
Briella. Rain. Rain. Reign.
That's why you ask.
Yeah, for sure.
What is that like? What's that like? Just that balancing act, like in terms of trying to be a dad and trying to be a college student and trying to be a guy who's got a lot of responsibilities to his team.
Yeah, well, I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like these last 2 years, ever since the COVID started, it's probably one of the hardest years of my life. So, just realize, going day by day, seeing mentors, seeing people in front of me, how they raise their kids and how they still play basketball and still keep family first. It's definitely an adjustment, but I'm just going to keep trying to be the best person I can be for her.
Amongst everything else, how much of an adjustment has it been just learning the new system here and the way that Coach Mack likes to do things, his personality, how he coaches, and so on?
Right. It's a lot different, just coming from a mid-major. I think high major is a difference in itself, but Coach Mack has a great system here. He has a great core values. It's a lot different when you're on the outside versus when you're inside. I keep saying that, but it really is, and bringing the Coach McMahon system in, NBA system. So I've never really played with this much spacing, never really played with this techniques, words, vocabulary. Like, I'm still learning on that, a lot of plays. So it's definitely an adjustment, but I feel like I'm getting, a hang of things. These last few games, like I said, besides COVID, I feel like I'm getting my confidence back. So we're just going to keep rolling.
4-0 in the ACC big road game at Florida State. First of all, how's it feel to still be, one of the couple teams that are still undefeated in the league? And what do you know about Florida State so far?
It feels good, man. Just winning feels good. No one wants to lose, and we experienced that early on. And I feel like we kind of took grasp of it, and we're gonna keep going with this. But winning cures everything. So Florida State is a great team. I played there 2 years ago when they had a few draft picks. So I personally can't wait to get there. But this team, we want to get 5-0. The league kind of feels like we're slept on playing against the bottom teams or whatever, but we're just going to keep winning, keep focusing on ourselves, and I feel like we have enough.
Mason, they're the tallest team in the country statistically. They also press more than anybody else. So what kind of challenge do they pose for you guys as guards?
Well, anytime you have a 7'4" guy, we experienced that with Western Kentucky. He was 7'5", so I feel like we know what that is now. So we're more prepared for it now. So, we can't be passive. We can't shoot a bunch of threes, and not get to the basket, not get to the foul line, which Coach Mack has emphasized over the last few weeks. We just got to be aggressive, keep playing team ball, and I feel like we have enough for that.
You have a lot of different guys who can handle the ball, yourself included. What kind of press attack do you think that gives you, and how comfortable are you guys going to be? You haven't seen a ton of it yet this year.
Right. It could be anybody's night. As we've seen that last night was L. Ellis. He played really good. Jerry's consistent with his defense and stuff like that. So we have a lot of trust in our guards. Noah knocks down shots. We have a lot of trust in our guards. So having that mentality, bringing that with the team and leading the team, being the leaders of the team, I don't really think, that would be a problem.
Thanks, bud.